Uranus, the disruptor, when it moved into Gemini, I mean, it's kind of already been in your ninth house. And like that's where you have all your magic because you're in publishing and you've been sharing your work like with the worldwide for so long.
Come on.
And so Uranus is like, well, we're going to do things differently now.
Which we are.
Which you are, right? Like, so what if, this is kind of like that new pathway for you? Like, yes,
I'm
you
kind
have
of
all your
digging it.
oracle cards, but you have like 19 decks, right?
I know, but I'm like so happy to be able to do something new and very humbled by it.
Yes.
Like I'll be honest, I feel very humbled because they took a chance on me. Like I'm not known for this. I used to make a living doing art many, many years ago in the late 80s. I used to paint like this on people's clothes,
Yeah.
and like do all this stuff. And then I quit painting altogether like 30 years ago and started painting. They loved my paintings from my new deck, which was last time. But I got into line art because I had broken my foot. So, and I couldn't stand up in front of the easel. So it just was so natural. And then meeting Anna, and I am a partner person, I believe we're rising, right? So
Yeah.
I love to work with other people. But I really felt, and she'll say the same thing, like we totally channeled this.
All right, everyone. Welcome to Star Powered. I'm so excited to have my friend Colette Baron-Reid, an internationally respected author, prolific Oracle deck creator, spiritual intuitive, and founder of the Oracle School. And today we are talking about her brand new book that she co-wrote with
Yay.
Anna Denning, The Art of
Yay.
Manifestation. Our books. This book
Yay.
is life-changing, seriously. Life-changing.
That's why I wanted you to read it before we talked,
Yes. Oh
right?
my gosh.
Like, yeah.
I have three copies. I have the preview copy that you gave me. I have the
Yes.
physical copy, and then I have the audio copy. Like, so I'm
Yes,
doing
that was
all the ways.
fun. Love it. Love it.
Oh my goodness. So, Colette, this is, we were looking at your chart a little bit earlier, and you're going through so many different changes with your progressed sun, with like Uranus, like going through your ninth house of publishing. Like, this is so different than
Yeah.
anything you've ever created. How did this come about?
So, first of all, it's in a most amazing full circle moment because I used to make a living as an artist, drawing kind of similar squiggly lines and stuff and big eyes on people's clothes for about 2.5 years in the late 80s after I got sober. So I made a living doing that. Making these bustiers with I would all this like Byzantine stuff and like shredded jackets like beyond Thunderdome, but I
Yes.
painted on them. So I painted on clothing, and so it's a strange thing because I had stopped. I came back to art again in 2021 because I did my art in different ways, like music, etc. But what I love about this is that it's brought me back to my roots,
Mm.
my real roots. Also, when I first got sober, I went to Unity Church, and that's where I started learning all about how we can manifest reality, how we co-create reality with spirit.
Mhm.
And so all of those techniques that I learned back then, I've been able to somehow expand with Anna, recreate it in a way that's based in basically doodling, right? It's doodle art, and anybody can do it. And it's not complicated.
Mm-mm.
And it's just the actions. Here's what happened. So I broke my foot. I ended up taking my very favorite class I went on YouTube. I took a class for 7-year-olds and neuro arts for 7-year-olds. Right. And then I saw these drawing things and I saw, a bunch of different things. And I started making my own, because I thought one of them was actually too rule based for me. And I don't like rules, like innovation, right?
Yeah.
Not,
Intuition, following the
yeah. And I
flow.
have to change things, right? So, but anyway, so I taught because we were caught in a rainstorm in South Carolina. I was with a whole bunch of Hay House executives plus a few authors, and we decided to draw. I said, let's all get some paper. So I had paper, I had pens. I said, okay, we're going to draw. I'm going to teach you guys this process. So I taught them the process as I had created it, where you did all this. And at the time, my I didn't use gratitude bubbles. I used white paint as prayer dots
Oh,
um,
prayer
throughout
dots.
the whole drawing. anyway, to solidify how grateful I'm grateful. So it was really based on immersing ourselves in gratitude while we drew circles and wavy lines, basically. Okay, that's about it.
Yes.
So when we did that, and the stuff looked like neurons and cells by the end of it. And then we colored it in, and I was really into neon bright colors at the time. But anyhow, they were all doing it, and all of them loved it. And then they actually started manifesting things that I told them to do, make your feelings safe. So like, then they kept doing it. And then literally out of the blue, he said, you need a book on this.
Yes.
I'm like, okay. And they offered me a book deal. That's basically how it happened. I just was doodling and using all these different watercolors and glitter and metallic paints and white paint, things like that, just because. And it was very easy to do. Anybody could do it. Even the people that said, oh, I'm not artistic. I'll do it anyway. And their stuff was gorgeous. So it came about in such a way that was really uncanny. But how Anna got into it was, I made friends with her. Had so much in common when it came to our approach to the art piece. Mm-hmm. She had a very different approach to the more heady, structured thing.
The Neurographica versus the Neuro
Neurographica this is very different. This is actually art. That is a system, very specific system. So, we were both really talking a lot about manifestation, and I had already been adding these certain elements when I was drawing, not knowing she had in her personal drawing. So I'm like, I do this. I'm like, really? Well, why don't we add that? Why don't we start with that, then add this, then add that? So the two of us created the process steps, the actual step-by-step story of how it works, because each step in the method means something. So you might see, again, things that look similar, like this is one of my paintings with the AM method on it. But like, it's what we make the things mean. For example, in ours, we put energy on our paper, then we open it up with the dot exercise, which I've been teaching for years. And, we did the chi ball first. Sorry about that. Like, both of us were Reiki masters. Yep. So we were like, oh, we can do that. That'd be cool. Let's do that. And it worked. So we're like, wow, oh my God, this goes with that. And then if we do this, then we created a portal, and you step through the portal, and you symbolically are saying, I am moving from a sense of limitation into unlimited potential. Yes. And but it's a visceral thing. You're not stuck in your head imagining it. You're actually doing it. And you feel yourself go through that portal. I mean, you've probably done it.
I've done it. I mean, I can't wait to.
Let me see.
Yeah, here's mine.
Oh, I love it. Right.
So I definitely want to talk about the AM method. So the AM method is like what you outline in this book, and it's like 7 weeks that take you through this journey of manifestation. But the funny thing is that maybe so many of us have already kind of fallen into it, not knowing
you're already doing it.
Not knowing. So I remember, I moved to San Francisco in 1999 with $200 in my bank account. Yeah. I didn't have a place to live. I didn't have anything. And I had a job. I had a job at Banana Republic. Do you remember Banana Republic?
Oh, yeah, I still buy stuff in Banana Republic.
So I had this job at Banana Republic. And during my breaks, I'd go to this beautiful park in the middle of downtown San Francisco. And I had this journal, and I would doodle. I would draw these mandalas.
And you knew already you were doing this.
I was like, I want this much money. I want this kind of job. I want this kind of boyfriend. I want this, like, look like this and this and this. And I was doing it. And I look back at that mandala, and I was like, I did it. But what I didn't know, like from your book, just added such a deeper layer and meaning and like structure. So I'm like, I was so excited because you were like, okay, buy yourself some pens. I ordered a bunch of pens and like a new book. I was like, fresh. It was so fun.
And it's fun. And that's the thing. Like, we forget that we have agency in this world right now. We give away our agency so effortlessly without even meaning to, because we expect the algorithm to show us what we're supposed to watch, how we're supposed to think, what are we supposed to buy. Like, it's always preempting, oh, this is right, this is what she's clicked on, so we're going to give her more of that. Very similar to the reticular activating system of the brain, which is the sorting system that decides what we get to look at.
Yes.
The more we rehearse a certain feeling, it's going to either let you into the party or you got to go to the end of the line. Right. So like a bouncer at the door. Yeah. So
I feel like I've been at the end of the line a little bit lately. I want to get to the front of the line.
We get there. Like even today, when we were talking, I was saying how insecure it is for me. Yeah. I put out a book that people are expect oracle cards from me. And this is me coming out of the art closet
I
that
know.
I've been doing for years. And, and this is like the dream come true.
Right.
Me and for Anna Denning as well, too. Like she has her own art school, but it's like, I believed, and we both were freaked out. Like that spirit put us together, spirit gave us this. We just downloaded it and we want everybody to do it and then
And
pass it on.
yeah.
No restrictions. Like do you like the book? Go teach somebody else how to do it.
Yeah.
Follow directions. And the reason we made it 7 weeks was just to give people the habit.
Yeah.
Frankly, it doesn't have to take 7 weeks. We just filled up the book with, let's try this week.
Yeah.
Let's look at this week. So it slows people down that they
Yeah.
can, really kind of, oh, I get it. I can do this. But the truth is, once you learn the actual method steps, which is
Mhm.
the energy, the dot, the portal, the frequency lines, and
Mhm.
the bubbles and the gratitude bubbles, right? Those are the simplest things. And then, of course, saying thank you at the end after you
Mhm.
surrender. You can do this every day,
Yeah.
but just that, right? But we really wanted, because we both knew that the hardest things why people get into a knot around manifestation was their attachment to form,
Mhm.
specific form, right? And that it had to be a certain way.
Look a
And
certain way.
and that we expected it to come from this place or no place at all, right? In this amount of time. If it doesn't happen within time frame, that means we're a loser. Maybe we did it wrong, or it doesn't work,
Yeah.
right? So there's a gap of understanding of how fluid it has to be between us and the conscious universe. And sometimes we're going to be sent on a detour until we get there. Perfect example, and I'm going to show you this picture, which is really freaky. And I'm glad this happened because it was I just thought, oh, I know why I got this, is so I could tell people.
Let me get
So
my
I'm going to show
glasses.
you a drawing.
Whoa.
Show you
Oh,
this drawing
yeah,
that I
that's
did.
beautiful.
Yeah, so this is a drawing. Now, here's what happened prior to the drawing. So Mark and I live on a farm 2 hours outside of the city, outside of Toronto. We've been feeling that we miss our friends. We really want to go back to the city. So, but we still want to live here. So we decided to lease a condo in the city. Now we had certain needs, right? But we had the means. I have excellent credit. I have never been late with a payment in my life. I've never been late on my taxes. I prepay them. Like I am squeaky clean. So why would I not be, right?
Yeah.
So anyhow, so I insisted that we were going to go to the beaches because I saw a vision in my head of water. And then my friends lived there and we used to live there. So we were like, oh, we know where we're going. We're going to the beaches. It's going to be there. And we see all these great condos. And there was always something wrong with the one. And then it looked good and somebody else got it. And then we kept getting turned down. And we are like, what is happening? So I said, I never did a drawing. I had to do a drawing from this and just go with how I feel. And I had to get to the point where, because I was really attached and I was driving myself crazy. I knew what was happening to me. I want what I want, how I want it, when I want it. Why can't I have it? Right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You're like a manifester, so you're used to getting the things that you want.
Well, but I also know the feeling state that comes up naturally, which is to be attached and to be angry when you don't get what you want, right? There's a sense of strange entitlement sometimes when you know how this works. So I realized the only way this could happen is if I gave it up. And I said, I'm going to draw. I'm going to draw. I'm just going to draw, see how I feel. And I just drew. I did my whole thing, activate the paper, got in the door, the portal, the frequency lines. And then I did the thank you bubbles and all that stuff in advance. I want to feel good. And then I wrote down, I love my neighbors, da, 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 da. And if I had never gotten the apartment at all, I would have been really happy because we love our home, right? It's fine. We have the nicest neighbors. We have all these things, all the things we already have those things. So I just decided, let me just do the gratitude drawing. But I started drawing in this boardwalk and the water and then the suns on one side of the page and all of them had happy faces. And I'm like, easy to afford, happy people, everything is good. And I said, but I also said, take this away from me if it's not meant for me. I can't do this to myself anymore.
Yeah.
And that's always a sign for me that I'm on track. Take it away if it's not for me.
If it's not for me.
Right?
Yeah.
So still attached. We had 3 apartments to go see. Again, this was 2 weeks. This is like the next day. We were going to the beaches again.
Yeah.
On the way to the beaches, I was surefire we're going to get this one. They cancel us on the way.
Oof.
Yeah. And I'm like, are you kidding me now? But then I said to myself, I did the drawing. I did say, get rid of it if it's not for me.
Yeah.
So the only 2 places that were available were in this building I didn't want to go to. I didn't want to go to that building because there was construction. Like, why do I want to go? I don't want to go where there's construction. I don't want to, it's noisy. Ew. Why do I want to see things that are like bulldozers and stuff? I do not want to go to that building. But I'm going because that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
So we went. I was convinced it was not going to happen. We walk in the door. I felt, wow, this is friendly. My friend had called me out of the blue. I have a condo in that building. I'm like, get out. Come on. Why are you in that building? It's like, it doesn't look like it would be in alignment. Yabba, yabba, yabba. And she goes, oh, it's so great here. I went, really? I don't know. Well, I'm going to come anyway. So we go to the first condo. It is my address. So you punch in a number get into the suite. I have a long house number. It's the long house number at my house. That's right. I walk in, it's the most perfect thing I've ever seen. And I'm like, oh my God. And I look at Mark, I went, this is perfect. We have to take it. He goes, you know what? I'm getting a feeling. Let's see the other one.
Oh.
I went, no, this is, I know it is. Look, you got all the
signs. Yeah.
You got the sign. No. Okay. So we walk all the way down. We walk into this unit. It was much smaller. But in this unit, when I sit in the bed, sit at my desk, sit wherever, you can see nothing but water.
Oh.
I don't see the construction. I just see water. So it was much smaller. And I just looked at him. I went, oh my God. He goes, well, it's 11:11. I think we should say yes. We had no problem. Basically, they were like, we love you. Come in. We took pictures of our dogs because like people are funky about dogs. Oh, they're fabulous. Bring the dogs. We love your dogs. And they're like, please come. And that it was just so incredible. And then I found out that this boardwalk, and it's so diverse too. It's like fantastic. It's like we're like the United Nations.
Yeah.
Like everywhere you go, there's new diversity everywhere. Like it's like amazing. And you hear all these different languages and people are
probably like the restaurants are like amazing too. Like when
oh
you
my
have
God.
that.
We have Thai restaurants, we have Indian restaurants, we have French, we have Russian. We have it's like the craziest thing. We have people from Africa, people from Saudi Arabia. We have people from all over the world, like from Turkey. Yeah. There's a whole group of people from Turkey there. Like it's unbelievable.
Sounds amazing.
It's the coolest thing ever. I love this. And a lot of people from China. We have the nicest Chinese neighbors. Like they're so nice. And everybody says hi to each other. They do qigong on the water in the morning. These little old ladies go down there. Mind you, they're probably my age. I don't know. And you can bring your dogs to the restaurants. I did not know that.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
So I was like, I couldn't have made a more perfect place for me than this place.
Oh,
yeah. It's so
and you
perfect.
let it go. Like you were just like, if this
and
is
we
not
let it go. And we said yes. And the universe just said yes.
Something better was waiting for you.
And even more boxes to tick than I even knew I wanted. Yeah. Very safe. Everyone knows each other and they're very friendly. And everyone has dogs. So the moral of the story is and I have manifested different things too. Like I did a drawing for Oracle School and I drew all these tiny little gratitude bubbles and with happy faces in them around angel wings, right? And I just kept drawing and drawing and drawing until I felt, oh, I'm done. So I drew, you know what, for the life of me, it's probably I can't remember the exact number, just over 500. So I drew about 524 little happy faces. I counted them. We got 524 people.
New members.
And then 4 more people joined. We were like, are you kidding me? Right? Yeah, I have actual real. They're not just anecdotal. I have evidence. I've shown, hey, look, you guys, count this. This, before. It is crazy. So yes, some of these things were, and I put happy faces and we have the happiest bunch of people in there. So it's what does this mean in the bigger picture?
Yeah.
So often we look to the world with dismay,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because, oh my God, look at all this
Things are
poor
hard right now
for
in
a
the
lot of
world.
people. And
Yeah.
it doesn't matter who you voted for. Like I'm in the middle. I'm always I'm in the most unpopular place, which is in the middle of the bridge, and I'm going to stay there, learning from everybody because that's how I am.
The
That
Libra rising. I'm going to keep balance. I'm going to keep the
well,
peace.
it's more I'm fascinated with why people choose what they choose, and I respect people's choices because I think people who go one way think they're right, the other ones think they're right, and somewhere in the middle is some kind of
Yeah.
compromised true reality. But I digress from that. But the truth is that we feel very powerless often,
Mm-hmm.
especially with the sensationalism of news,
Mm-hmm.
right? We don't get good news. I've signed up to the Good News Network, so I know what's going on because there's so much good news in the world, but we're not served
Mm.
that.
Good News Network. I gotta write that
Yeah,
down.
the Good News Network, it's
Yeah.
really good. And we're just not served that up. And so our nervous systems are on alert all the time. So, when we feel powerless, we don't feel like we have any agency. There's a quality of nihilism that sets into some people, or
Mm-hmm.
apathy, or cynicism, or even hatred, as we've seen, right? Or under a lack of understanding
Yeah.
or respect for each other. And we are there. So we can still experience our dreams and prove to ourselves that the universe is listening to us if we discipline ourselves to focus on what we do have agency over, right? And so this and that are true. It's not
Mm-hmm.
about bypassing or toxic
No.
positivity, which pisses me off beyond measure.
Yeah.
I mean, like, because I'd much rather be positive than negative, but it's about recognizing what is mine to do.
Yeah.
Where can I help?
Well,
And
that's why I
right, go
think this
ahead.
book is so wonderful because, the thing is like life, I know for me, like you talked about like having a little bit of anxiety and like kind of insecurity with the book. And for me, I've been going through a little bit of depression. And I don't know if it's because of like perimenopause or different things. And so I've been really looking forward to this book, especially in like the first week about like what are your limiting beliefs? What are these blocks that you can
Yeah,
get through? Because I think when your brain chemistry, when your body chemistry starts
yeah,
changing at perimenopause, you're like, what is going on? It's like nothing that you've ever
yeah.
felt before. And so I'm wondering, I'll be your test case for this of like, how can this relieve some perimenopausal symptoms?
Well, it does. It can. And that's at the very least. At the very least, what it will do is make you relaxed and give you capacity to manage those feelings because you can put the feelings down, you can actually shut them. You can expand them and allow them to speak to you, and then you can close the circle with them,
Mm,
right? So you actually have a way to ritualize very simple, like this, nothing serious. Like, seriously, this is the easiest freaking thing you'll ever done in your life. It's about drawing circles, either taking a spiral on the outside or taking it on the inside. You just
mm,
spiral it back and going, I'm learning this lesson, but now I'm going to minimize its impact on me. Thank you, universe. Thank you, universe. Thank you. And you just and the key to all of it is being stupefied in gratitude.
yeah.
So
Well, one
and
of
you
the
can't
things
go ahead.
that motion with your hands, right? Like whether you're going clockwise to open things up or counterclockwise to close it, that's like the embodiment thing that so much of us are
Yeah.
missing. Even when I think about astrology and teaching my students astrology and they're looking at the natal chart and they can't figure it out. And I'm like, go outside and look at the moon. Like,
Hey,
can you just like experience it instead of trying to intellectualize it so much? And that's really to me like this art of manifesting book, why I've enjoyed it so much. It takes the science, but it adds the meaning. It
yeah.
takes the energy and the intention and the ritual, but then it bases it in something that's like really practical, really grounded, really doable for all of us.
Yeah. And I love that you said that because it is experiential. Right?
Yes.
It's not heady. You can't think your way through any of this. You can't think your way through perimenopause. You can't
No.
think your way out of depression.
No.
I've had severe anxiety my whole life.
Yeah.
And the idea of not being safe, for example. And this is not a world, especially when you're out there trying to promote a book on social media where you're terrified of that lack of safety. But
Oh
now
my
I've got,
gosh.
I thank God my progressive moon went into Aquarius. Now I'm like, I can handle this. talk to the hand. You know what I mean? Thank God I couldn't have done this before. But there's this quality of, you know, being able to, because I can't think my way out of that. I can't.
Oh,
I can't. And I also don't have the capacity to do anything complicated, right? I'll be honest, I can't. As many, you know, tapping scripts that there are and other processes, even the stuff that I've created, you
yeah.
know, with the total mind shift process, is too many. It's like, I just need to sit down and frickin' draw.
Just do it.
Just
But
give me a piece of paper. Yeah, go ahead.
you also have integrations though with like your oracle cards, right? Like suggestions
Yes.
on how to use the oracle cards along with the AM method.
Yeah, you can draw. You pull a card also to say, like, what do I need to focus on today? And then
Mhm.
you draw about it
Yeah.
and you let it come out of you, right? It's just like, well, you want to do it?
Well, you know, the funny thing is like I did
You
pull
do
a
it?
card this morning and
Okay, tell me.
my card, I from this random deck, I pulled this card and the card that I got was the magician. And it was about like
So it's the tarot.
manifesting. Yeah, it was a
The tarot
tarot
is about
card. And
manifestation.
it was just like, okay, use some intentions you'd like to manifest, write them down if they were already true in the present sense and express gratitude for what's to come. I was like, well, good thing I'm going to do that with my new art of
Right?
manifestation.
And what I love about that is that, like, I'm not here to reinvent the wheel. I'm just taking parts of the wheel we know works and shoved it, put it together and in a different form. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not professing to be the big expert in manifesting, but I have been an expert manifester.
Well, and
And
you're an
and
expert teacher and you're connected to the collective consciousness. You know what we need right now, Colette.
and most people know this already. And that's why I get a kick out of it. They'll go, I used to doodle like this when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, I want you to think you're 5.
So, you know, you were talking about, so you have the actual method, which is like a ritual where you open up and you use Reiki to activate the paper and you bring in the
Or
light.
Reiki, and just for the novel, Reiki is really, and actually my Qigong, I learned this also from a Qigong master. It's like you make a ball of Qi. This is life force energy. When you rub your hands together and you go like this, you actually feel the pulse pushing your hand apart.
Yeah, you
So
feel
where do
it.
we put, right? You can feel it's like
You
a
feel
real
it.
hard ball. So
Mhm.
you take that and you push it into the paper by saying, as I push this into the paper, you are the universe. You represent the universe. This paper represents the universe now because that energy, we've enlivened and activated the paper. And then we felt it. So we know that we felt it with our hands, 5 sensory. Then we're going to do the dot. So when we do the dot and stare at the dot, the point is that we say, let there be light, but we start to notice that the paper changes with peripheral vision. So we are seeing something there that wasn't there before, right? So that you
So
cannot.
cool.
So your little bouncer guy there is going like, oh, wow, that's cool. Well, that's important. So we're going to make note of that. They'll get into the party. And then from the dot, which is our intention, then we see that come alive. And then we start drawing these frequency lines that say, I am communicating this to the universe, but the universe is communicating back to me. It's sonic waves is kind of like we're looking at these kind of, waves in which we broadcast because we are always
Yeah,
broadcasting like little radio stations.
I
And
love
then
that.
that goes on. And then it's like, well, I need to say thank you. And that's kind of when I show you this. So that's what these circles are. All these circles are dreams come true that I may or may not know that I have. And these spirals, and these are all gratitude. These are like things that grow. My gratitude grows. And just all the round things and the stars and the happy faces and the
So
hearts.
beautiful.
It's all just about gratitude,
So beautiful.
and that's all I do. Grateful, grateful, grateful. Simple Simon.
Well, so you were talking about, you know, like we have the activation, like the ritual of like putting the intention on the paper, but you're also talking about some of the different symbols. And, you know, one of the symbols that really sparked my attention, because you have it in an example in your book, but my grandmother she would sit with a cigarette and do the crossword puzzle, and then she would sketch in the borders of the crossword puzzles all of these eyes.
Eyes. Yes,
Eyes.
these
Tell me more
eyes,
about
right?
those. Yes.
So the eye represents, well, it can be a number of things. One, the eye is protects you against evil, right? But
Mm.
it is the universe watching us. right? They're the great eye, the eye of wisdom, the all-seeing eye,
Not the Eye of
the eye.
Sauron. No.
No, not
Yeah.
Sauron. Forget it. No, you're not, unless you want to make one of those. I'm
No,
not
no,
doing
no.
that.
Just
Yeah,
kidding.
there's no dark in this. No, but it's the quality of the eye. Like it's like the eye watches me. It's like I know this eye is seeing me and loves me. Like I am witness. It's the concept of witness. Like I am being witnessed. And that is what happens when you draw. You're being witnessed. You're opening yourself up to be witnessed and heard. And and the way you listen is by watching for those meaningful coincidences, because you are engaging intentional synchronicity when you do this,
Yes.
right? And all of a sudden, wait a sec, whoa, that's cool, because you couldn't have made it up. There's no way you could have made those things happen. And that's hard, because we like to know, especially now in times of uncertainty, what do we want?
Yeah.
Certainty.
Yeah.
So this is about working with uncertainty.
Yes. Well, one of the things that I love this so much is the joy, right? It just brings you back to a little kid. You're drawing, you used
Joy,
to do
peace, and
this.
ease.
You get to buy all your colorful pens and some new like
Yeah.
notebooks and things. But one of the things as I tap into the collective consciousness, especially coming out of like eclipse season, I'm a
Mm-hmm.
business and a brand astrologer. I talk about leadership, I talk about practicality, I talk about all of this, like, quite frankly, like boring stuff.
That's not, you don't bore me at all. I think
Well,
you're fascinating.
but the thing is, when I'm tapping into the universe, going through like these perimenopause challenges, all of these things, the thing that was clear to me is like, where's your joy?
Right.
Where's your wellness? And where is your community, your friends? And if you don't
Right.
have those three basic things taken care of, because like that's the parasympathetic realm, like the
Yeah.
rest and the digest and the love and the
Yeah.
joy, like if that part is not complete and like turned on, then the other part can't turn on. Right. And so
Right.
that's that
And
harmony and coherence you keep talking about.
yeah. And I think people get very isolated when they're scared to have opinions that are not the same as other people. And
Mhm.
they're okay, you want to go
Oh,
down now? You.
oh.
That when they have their opinions, they like, it's easier to isolate or only be in a silo, you know what I mean, with those
Mhm.
monoculture of we all get along because we all believe the same thing,
Yeah.
as opposed to being with a diverse group of friends where everybody has a little bit of difference, which is so much richer.
Mhm.
Um, I'm lucky because, for me, I go to 12-step programs, and I've been going to tons of those things lately, just because that my community, my
Yeah.
spiritual community, where I get my sustenance,
Yeah.
is where I help for free. I'm present, the whole thing, it's different. Um, but if I didn't have that, I would be very depressed,
Yeah.
because it's so easy to look out into the world and think, why bother?
Yeah.
Some days,
Some days. That's
like,
the I'm grateful too. I have the friend thing. I have like a really great community, several great communities.
oh, you're so lovable.
I am, but I was missing this joy, and this is like really completing a piece
You
of
can do it with your friends. Go get a bunch of friends and get some books and all do it together. Like the whole idea.
yes.
So I did this with a group. That's how it started. I did it with a group. We were all stuck in at Sage Event Studios. We were all there with our pens and our thing, and we did. That's the first time it was a whole bunch of us doing it together. And when you do it with your family, it's great. And when I went to Portugal to see my friend Lisa, this our mutual friend David came with his 3 kids, and they all got in on the action. Like, let's get the pens.
Let's do
And they
it.
were like, so they went all day long going, oh my God, they loved it. They went, when the oldest one went to show and tell back in England to show all her little friends how to do it. Like, it's doing it together. And then it's like all of us at the same time tap into this zone.
Yeah.
It's uncanny.
So good.
Like, I
It's
don't
so
even know
good.
how to explain it. Like, it's just uncanny. You just have to do it to feel it.
Yeah.
People giggle. They go, well, "That's beautiful. Try this over there. What about that?" And blah, blah. It's just a beautiful thing to do together.
It's so good. Yes, to do together. I'm definitely gonna like send my mom friends a link and then be like, let's do this together. You know,
Yeah.
of course my woo-woo friends are gonna do it because like
Yeah.
we do those things. But like my mom friends who are just kind of like, like a little curious, will totally do this. So Colette, I mean, thank you so
Thank
much for
you.
creating this and sharing your story. Is there any last thing that you want to share with us before we hop
Yes,
off
I
our
want to
call?
say how amazing you are and how much I admire you and respect you and love you so much. And I'm so grateful we've become friends and you come in. Everybody loves you when you come to OCM to do and I love talking to you about stuff and you're never boring. So never think you are. So yes, I just want to shout out you. And also, yeah, my hope is one person at a time learns how to do this and feels better about themselves.
Oh, it's
The
so
world, right? If it's like, I know it works.
it totally
It really
it
works.
works. It works.
It
So
works.
everybody, this book
I love
currently
this.
is the bestseller. It just got released a couple of days ago. Wherever you order your books, it's already a bestseller. Grab this book. It is so wonderful. The Art of Manifesting by Colette Baron-Reid and her co-creator Anna Denning. It's
Hey.
wonderful. Thank you, Colette, for sharing this with
Thank
us.
you. Thank you so much. Mwah.
As a human design projector, my energy shines more brightly because of people like you who share my work. If you enjoy this podcast and want to help build a movement of innovative astrology and leadership and spark the intuitive revolution, please rate and review this podcast on Apple Podcasts, or better yet, share this podcast with your change-making besties. We will all shine brighter together as we create the future we want to see.